Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Laura Cantu and I am super excited to have you here today because I have some pretty cool content to share with you. Over the weekend, we had the amazing idea to go out on the street and ask people about their experience going to college, what they majored in, what they do for a living, how much they make per year, and just to give us some insight about their experience in college and what it taught them. These interviews were super insightful and I am very excited to share them with you. But before we do that, I would like to remind you that if you are either a parent of a high school student or a student who wants to get accepted into college with scholarships, we have put together a completely free webinar where we talk about the 6 steps to get accepted into college with scholarships. If you want to learn those free strategies, make sure to check out the link in this video's description and register for the free training. But without further ado, let's go ahead and watch these interviews. I'm actually really excited to listen back to some of these answers and just kind of break down everything that was said and talk about some of these colleges because we did meet a diverse group of people who gave us some really insightful information, and I believe this is going to be very helpful and it's just going to be super entertaining for anybody who is interested in learning about different career paths, different colleges. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Make sure to leave some of the comments in the comment section. Let me know if there's any questions that you would like us to ask people on the street in our upcoming interviews because we will definitely be doing this again. And finally, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you stay up to date with all of our content. Okay, I am super excited. Let's start with the first interview. Where did you go to college?
Did 2 years at Rollins College and 2 at University of Miami, where I graduated, and then went to law school at UVA.
All right, so he mentions Rollins College, UM, and UVA for law school. Let's break these down. Rollins College is a small private college in Winter Park, Florida. He also mentions going to the University of Miami, which is located in Coral Gables. UM is a private university ranked number 55 in the top national universities in the nation. So it's a really great school. Now, the University of Miami can be a little pricey, but there are institutional scholarships offered by the college. And if this student is from Florida and maybe earned the Bright Futures Scholarship, he could have been able to receive, some scholarships and aid to fund his education. Now, I want to talk about where he went to law school because, as a matter of fact, UVA Law School is ranked within the top 10 law schools in the nation. So the fact that he got accepted into this competitive program and he was able to graduate from it is very, very impressive. So, round of applause. That is very, very impressive. So congrats to him. Right now, what do you do for a living?
So I just took the bar exam last week, so I actually have about a month off before I actually start work. But I'm going to be starting at one of the corporate law firms down here in September, so I'm excited for that.
If you can give us a rough estimate of how much you will be making in the next year when you start your career.
Sure. So the big law firms are all standardized wherever you are, so it's a base of $215, and then a little changes based on market and whatnot, but somewhere around that.
All right, I just want to talk about this for just a minute. He mentions that he will be working in a corporate law firm in Miami with a starting base of around $215,000 per year, which is super possible. According to ZipRecruiter, the majority of corporate lawyers' salaries in Florida currently range between $77,000 to $267,000 annually. So we can definitely say that he got a pretty great offer with this upcoming job. Another thing that I do want to mention about this specific interview was how excited he was talking about his job, his time in college, his experience at law school. We always tell students to do what they are passionate about, and he was the prime example of this. So remember, if you're a parent, if you're a student, encourage your kids to follow their passions and to do what they love, because that is going to make the whole process easier. It's going to be more enjoyable and it's going to open a lot of doors. All right, let's go to the next question. What is the biggest lesson that you learned in college? Something that you're going to keep with you forever?
I remember there's one thing one of my professors opened up with in one of my economics courses I took. He said, we're going to read a lot of things from different points of view. And he said, I don't expect you to agree with everything you read in this class, but if you're going to tell me why you disagree with something, you should be able to explain it twice as well as the one that you agree with. And I've always thought that was something that I think a lot of people could probably benefit from thinking about a little more often. It seems like a lot of people kind of have an opinion before they actually think about why they have that. And that's always been sort of one quote I got from higher education that I think about pretty often.
I mean, there you have it. That is some great advice. I think it's really impressive that he still remembers. And I think that it's very telling how impactful college professors' experiences that happen in school can be for students. There you go. There's some advice from a law school graduate that he learned from his college professor. All right, let's move on to the next interview. Where did you go to college?
I went to Miami-Dade College.
And what do you do for a living?
I do financing in the auto industry.
Around how much do you make every year?
6 figures.
What is the biggest lesson that going to college taught you?
Discipline. Going to class every time and just being more disciplined, more responsible. That's what it taught me. So everybody benefits from that. So unless you have another plan, don't drop out of college.
All right, so we have a Miami-Dade college grad. Miami-Dade, if you didn't know, it's the biggest community college in the nation with 8 campuses. Miami-Dade College is actually a great institution with a lot of growing programs. And what he says is really true. You know, going to college does teach students discipline. There are students who have never lived alone before, never even cooked for themselves. Maybe throughout their life, they had their parents tell them when to wake up, or they needed their parents to do certain things. So when a person goes to college, it really is the first time that they are doing adult things or learning a lot of skills that maybe they didn't really have or needed when they were living at home. So definitely very true and very important. Discipline is a big part of going to college. One more thing I do want to say about community colleges as a whole is that there is this negative stigma sometimes about going to community college. And I want to remind students and parents that sometimes community college is the path towards student success. Some students do 2 years at a local community college and transfer to a different school. Some students get their degrees from a community college. It's not about the degree that you get. It's about what you do with your experiences at college, what you do with your degree in order to further yourself and get farther in life, right? So definitely keep that in mind, and props to this guy. And clearly he's doing well. All right, on to the next interview. Where did you go to college?
So I got my bachelor's degree at Ohio State, and I got my master's degree at FIU and my doctorate at FIU.
All right, let's talk about Ohio State for just a second. This school is located in Columbus, Ohio. As a matter of fact, it has one of the top football programs in the nation. I believe it's ranked number 3 right now. And this Big Ten school is probably going to have some pretty cool sports culture. Students who love football, students who love tailgating are definitely going to be very happy attending this university. She also mentions that she went to FIU for her master's. FIU is a big school, kind of like Ohio State. Another thing about FIU is how affordable it can be. In fact, FIU's financial aid office awards more than $180 million in financial aid each year. All right, let's keep going. So what do you do for a living?
I was a researcher, so I worked for a education research consultation firm.
How much did you make when you were doing that?
I made about $70,000 a year doing that. Now I work with my father-in-law in his business, so we sell luxury vehicles and export them around the world.
Around how much are you making?
Maybe around $120,000 a year.
What is the biggest lesson that you learned from going to college?
What I studied for my doctorate was emerging adulthood and kind of the impact of going to college on people. So beyond like learning, like academically, I think that going to college just makes you a more well-rounded person. It really introduced me to different ways of thinking, different ways of life, people from different places. And I think that that's so important for young people as, you develop and grow into an adult. I think it's great to get out of your comfort zone and maybe hear things that might make you uncomfortable and make you really think, why do I feel that way? Why do they feel that way? Why does my background impact my beliefs versus someone else's? And I think that college is just the perfect opportunity to learn that skill. And I think that that's such a valuable skill in life.
So would you say going to college is worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Going to college impacts a person in many ways than just one. And what she says, beyond the academic and things that you learn in the classroom, you are exposed to people from all walks of life. And that is something that even I, being an immigrant that moved to the United States when I was 13-year-old to South Florida, where I was meeting people from all over the world, since Florida is the melting pot of the country, I still learned so much about myself. I still learned a lot about other people. I was also friends with a lot of international students, people from Rwanda, New Zealand, South Africa, and I learned so much from them. So I think what she says is very important. Now, the fact that she's working with her father-in-law right now does not mean that she's not going to be using her degree in the future. Clearly, going to college had an impact on her, and who knows, maybe in the future she might be able to go into education or do something that is related to the degree that she earned. But that doesn't mean that she's not applying her knowledge in and out of a classroom in her job today. All right, let's move on to our final interview. Where did you go to college?
I went to college at the University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida.
All right, we got a USF grad. USF is a public university located in Tampa, Florida. This school is beautiful, and its location makes it really nice. It's really close to Busch Gardens, to Adventure Island. It's close to the beach. USF, it's a growing campus, and every year the programs get better. We gotta watch out for this school because I'm sure that in 10 years from now, it's just going to be better and better. What do you do for a living right now?
I'm part of the family business, so I help my dad. We have a business back in Haiti. He's a distributor, so basically he buys products from overseas, and then he has a lot of clients in the country, and then he sells those products to his clients. The plan was always to go back to Haiti after college and help with the business so I can eventually take over in the future.
What's the rough estimate of what you make in a year?
Net, about 200,000.
What is the biggest lesson that you learn in college that still helps you till this day with what you do and everything in life?
Honestly, for me, I did focus a lot on the educational part, but a lot of the things that I learned in college was mainly lessons about life, about talking to other people, making connections, how to deal with different situations. Because the one thing that I made sure that I did was getting involved a lot into clubs and programs that could help me grow as a person. I know a lot of people go to college and they just focus on classes, but I made sure to do a lot more than that. That helped me grow as a person and become more confident. Just know who I was.
So would you say that it was worth it?
It was definitely worth it.
All right, I love this interview as well. His insight was really cool. It was also pretty awesome to see somebody who came from a different country come to the US and, get a degree here and maybe use it overseas. Or if he ever wanted to come to the United States, he can say that he earned a degree in this country. But what he says is very true. College is not just about academics. There are so many organizations in every single college in the United States. And something that I always tell students is it's not only about the degree that you get, it's about what you do with that degree, the opportunities that you take. Clearly, he's talking about getting involved, networking, meeting people, and a big chunk of going to college is just that. Building a foundation for your future. I am sure that everything that he learned in college, he's going to apply it in his family business, and he's going to help it because who knows, maybe he's the first person in his family to come to college in the United States. Maybe he made a connection or a network relationship with one of his classmates, one of his professors, and he's going to be able to grow his business. So I love this interview. I love what he had to say, and it's very true. A big part of going to college is networking and getting involved. Well, guys, that concludes all the interviews that I have for you today. Make sure that you leave a comment letting us know what you thought, or if you have any ideas of what questions we should be asking in the future, you drop them down below because we will definitely be doing this in the future. Also, for my high school students and my parents, don't forget to register to our free webinar on our 6 strategies to get accepted into college with scholarships. That webinar is located in this video's description. Make sure that you register, make sure that you watch it, and make sure that you learn these important strategies. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know that I definitely did. So I am really excited to continue to do content like this, and I am really excited to see what you guys think about this. Once again, my name is Laura Cantu, and I will see you again next time.